What is going on, guys? It is Chris here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering our FOMC recap. So it's July 27th. I'm going to be covering what we went over on FOMC, what plays we made. We were 5 for 6 on the day. We made 6 plays, and basically 4 of them went over 200%, one of them for 55, and one for a loss. So I'll cover the loss, but I also want to, more importantly, go over how we can catch these pumps super easily and how you should not be fading them, right? So how you know if it's very strong or if it's very weak. Now, the first play that we made today was actually on SPY. I was looking at the SPY chart, but I traded SPX options. So I was looking at SPY and I'm noticing that we're approaching VWAP. Usually I'm expecting a rally into the FOMC, not a substantial rally, but at least something where it's going to be choppy, yet still consolidating to the upside, if you guys know what I mean. So choppy upside. And so we bounce off VWAP and I enter these at 10:09 right here. Now, these ones we actually exited a majority of them before FOMC, so don't get fooled, 450%, very nice, yes. But we exited, I think it was like half here before FOMC already. So we were holding the rest of those runners, or the rest of the position into FOMC. And of course, those printed. I was very bullish heading into FOMC, expecting them to meet the requirements for the rate hike or the consensus for the rate hike. And so they did exactly that with 75 BPS. So that was that play. But originally, it's just a VWAP bounce. That's what we were looking for in that play. Next one we did were actually our 398 calls on SPY. And this is probably the easiest play you can do for the entirety of FOMC. Now, all I did was get calls 1 minute before FOMC at 10:59. I set a limit order to sell at 20% for about 50% of my position. Another 40% of my position I sold at 15%. So that was very easy right in through here. Profited 15% there. And then we held the rest of those runners into the late afternoon as we had this pump. So very, very nice play on that. And it's always good to just hold those runners, especially when you're having, very volatile movements. If you want to break even over on the trade, that's fine. But I'd prefer to break even over, losing out on some profits. So that's something that just comes with my risk management. So that was SPY trade using the SPY chart. Now we can switch over to ES. So what we did for the rest of the day, we were looking right here at calls due to this humongous candle. So we had basically a 20-point candle, of course, in one move, in 1 minute. And everyone was trying to short this. Now, you know who you are if you're watching the video, if you shorted this, but this is nothing. This is something you never want to fade. You never want to be fading this, except if you're catching the absolute top and this wick right here. But you're usually going to be followed by a pump after this candle. So around, 11:25 to 11:30-ish, you're going to be seeing fat candles in each direction. A lot of volume starts coming in when JP starts to talk. And so we had big fat candle to the upside. He said something pretty bullish, something, at this point I don't even remember what he said, but he said some bullish remarks. And so we ended up pumping. And so you never want to be fading after you see this rally, because it's very rare that you're going to rally here, consolidate, and come all the way back down like this. Sure, you can be scalping this movement in through here, but at the same time, the puts just do not move well. The calls are going to be moving so nicely. And remember, do not get super far out of the money, because they're just gonna die basically. You have less than 2 hours until the market closes then, so very risky. And that was our 4035 calls. Now we actually immediately got into 4050s. I said round 2 to the Discord, and we entered these ones right in through here at 11:39. So although it looks very topish, right, we had a huge push from 3970 all the way to 4000. It's the 30-point move in 5 minutes. Chris, what the hell are you doing? Yes, that's very true. We're approaching a very key level though, and we're very bullish. If you look at the volume, this volume is astronomical. This is absolutely insane volume that we just came in here. If you look at the 15-minute as well, which I was looking at, we came in with huge amounts of volume on that candle. And if you compare it to basically all the other previous days of the month of July, it's gonna be basically the highest of the whole month, I think. Yep, highest of the whole month. So that was the biggest amount of buying that we saw in ES for the entirety of the month in a 15-minute time frame. So that's what we're looking at on that one. Ended up pumping into the afternoon. Runners just absolutely printed. Perfect play. And then we got those 4050s. And the next play was obviously a loss. We got puts, very bad play. So I want to explain to you guys how you can avoid this. If you see this trend, I just, didn't even follow my own rules. I was looking for a little bit of a scalp here. I thought we had a tad bit of weakness before rallying into the close. That was my fault. Although I said lotto, I know it's a loss. So we entered right here, immediately green candle, and I immediately exited. Because I know this is very strong. And so when we start to see a break of a high day, of course, we're consolidating. What I was looking for was a break of this high, which is 4,000, very key level. Then up here, we broke July 27th highs. I was looking at consolidation and a dip below, but we saw the upside starting to build, the momentum. The upside built up And so we exited that. Of course, if we held, we would have been down, I think 80 or 90%. I saw it up here. So I'm very glad we exited, and we actually went into calls, which immediately made up for that loss. It's perfect. If you make a loss like that, it's very nice to just easily make up for it on, a calculated play. So I was basically just scalping the top. I got in right here. In literally 1 minute, we saw a 4.5 point candle, and so it's very nice. 55% just like that. And basically what we're looking for on that one is just momentum building to the upside. Lots of greens. Yes, you're expecting a little bit of red, some sort of pullback. Yes, I understand that, but the momentum is building to the upside. Our buys are increasing, and so that's very bullish when our buys are increasing. I'm expecting one fat green candle always, and this goes for the downside. Lots of just having a lot of reds in a row. Usually you can expect reverse short squeeze, you could call it, I guess. Just one final dump like this. It kind of just accelerates. You've seen this before on market sell-offs where we're just downtrending, accelerates, or when it's uptrending like this and accelerates very rapidly. So that's what you want to be looking for on these sort of plays. That sort of stuff is super easy to do. But hopefully this all makes sense, right? Do not fade this sort of shit ever. Please, no. Don't do what I did here. That was just stupid play. Everyone is clowning me in VC. Yes, I know. Very funny. But otherwise, amazing day, right? We hit literally 4 plays that went over 200%, one 450, one loss in a little scout for 55. So very, very nice. Fills are definitely difficult on this kind of day, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you can apply this to the next FOMC, which should be in September. I don't think they have an FOMC in August. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, or maybe tomorrow, something like that. Peace, guys.